Hello, guys. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. We're so pleased to have you back here again. I hope you learned something new today. So, today we'll be teaching on how to make oha soup, or some people call it ora soup. It's the same thing, and it is very, very delicious. Right here, I'm shredding the leaves because you don't use knife to cut it. When you cut it, it's with knife it becomes black, so you shred with your fingers. So that's what I'm doing here. I just remove them from the stem and I'm shredding them with my fingers. This is the oha leaf, and it is the most important thing in making this soup because that's the main soup right here. And it is very expensive and difficult to get this here in New Delhi because it has a very short life, shelf life. So it's is this what you're seeing here now is like gold, guys. Very, very rare. So I got this and I'm making this today, and I'm so happy to show you all the process. Please stay tuned and let me know how you feel about it when you do try it in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. We love you all. Bye. So guys, these are the ingredients you will need to make your oha soup. You have your crayfish, fresh chili pepper, you have your coco yam, you have your oha leaf, very important. I have shredded this. I'll be showing you how I shred it in a bit. And these are accessories, the shaki and this. I actually don't know what this is called, but it's like shaki. It's very nice. And this is our cow meat. I'm trying to defrost it a bit so I can cook it. And these are our seasonings. We'll have our salt to taste here. We'll have our bouillon cube, palm oil, garlic powder, ginger powder, curry and thyme, the meat spices, and most importantly our Ogiri Igbo, very important to make your tribal soup. And this is our dry pepper for boiling the meat, and these are dried fish. So guys, right here I'm trying to season our beef. That's the beef spices. So we're going to put that into the meat that we've put in the pot already. And you see that I separated my shaki from my beef because they both have different cook time. The beef normally gets cooked before the shaki. So for us not to have some undercooked meat and some overcooked meat, you have to put them in separate pots. And if you notice, that's the ginger garlic I'm adding. If you notice, I've put my coco yam into a pressure pot because we need it to cook very, very well so that it will be easy for us to blend, because we do not have a mortar and a pestle to mash it. So we're going to be using a blender. So we're using a pressure pot to cook our coco yam. That's it right there. I've also added water to our vegetables. I've added water to our dried fish to soak, and the pepper. So now we're just making preparations for the soup while we're seasoning our meat. So the amount of season depends on how much the meat is. So now I'm adding salt. I've added the garlic powder, the ginger powder, the thyme and curry, the salt, the pepper. Now I'm adding my onions. If you notice, I did not add the onions as a list of ingredients from the beginning, because a lot of you will be like, you're using onions to cook soup, this, that. No, it's just to boil the meat. It makes your meat tender. It gives it a unique kind of taste and flavor. So I use it to boil the meat, not to cook the soup. You can option it out if you do not like onions in your meat or soup. So that's why I didn't add it from the beginning. So this is my personal reference, and I normally do add onions to my meat. Now I have put the meat on the gas cooker, and I've also put the coco yam to cook. While those ones cook, now I'm making the other preparations, like my washing the pepper, washing the vegetable, the oha leaf, and also making all the necessary preparation just before the meat and the coco yam is ready. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just washing out the leaves. And this is the dry fish that I've soaked. I'm going to soak that before the meat is ready. So now the cocoyam is ready, and we're going to peel it off. You see how very tender it is. It is very, very soft right now, so it's not going to spoil your blender when you're blending it. So I'm just going to peel it off, and please do cool it off. Make sure you add a lot of cold water. You can strain out the water like 2-3 times so it doesn't burn you, because it was made with a pressure pot, so it's going to be very, very hot. So I've finished peeling everything, and that is what we got from it. A lot of them were bad, but luckily for us, we do not need a lot of thickener for our oha soup. Oha soup is a naturally light soup, so the cocoyam helps in thickening the soup. And in this particular recipe, we do not need a lot of cocoyam. We just need a little bit of it. The soup does not need to be thick. So that's the cocoyam. We've blended it, and see how beautiful, so smooth it is right now. And that's right there is our spatula. You need that spatula if you're making this soup, because it will help you scrape out everything from the blender and makes it easier for you to wash after you are done. Try and get a spatula in your kitchen, guys. So now I'm adding the pepper immediately after blending the cocoyam. This will also help to make it's easy for us to wash the blender when we're done. Now I've added the crayfish. I have rinsed my crayfish. I have blowed it out first for sand and dust. Then I rinsed it, and now I'm adding it to my pepper. I personally like blending my crayfish and my fresh chili pepper together. So I've blended them together, and if you notice, my meat is ready, and I've transferred the both meat into a bigger pot so that we can make the soup. Now you pour the meat in the bigger pot and add water. I've added water to the meat now. When I was boiling the meat, I actually didn't add water, so now I added water. I allowed it to boil a bit, and I've added my Ogiri Igbo. That was what I added just now. Ogiri Igbo is very important in making your native soup. And after that, you add your pepper and your crayfish that you blended, the pepper and crayfish paste that you blended, and I'm rinsing it out. You see the blender is already clean. It's not going to stress you to wash or hurt yourself while washing it. So now I'm giving it a good stir. Then I will add my palm oil at this stage, and then just cover it up to cook. So that's what I'm doing right now. So immediately after adding your palm oil, you give it a good stir, and then just cover it up to cook. And after like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, it's come to a boiling stage like this. You give it another stir and just check it. Then now you can add your cocoyam paste. You add it in different batch depending on how thick your consistency of the paste is. Mine is not thick because that's how I wanted it. If yours is thick, you can just put it in a bunch like that in different places, not in one place, and cover it immediately to cook. You do not stir it at that point. It will dissolve on its own. So after about 3 to 5 minutes, you open it and stir it. At this stage, it has dissolved. So now I have strained and deboned my dry fish. I've added the dry fish at this point, and then I'm checking if I need any seasoning. So at that point, you can add extra salt or Maggi if you feel you need to, but I do season my meat very well, so most of the time I don't need to add extra seasoning. But if you taste and you feel you need extra seasoning, that's the point you should add some. So now I've added my oha leaf. I added a little bit of water because I felt the soup was too thick. So it all depends on how you want yours. So I added water, I added the leaf, and stir it. Now I'm covering it to cook. After about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, it is ready, guys. That's it. Very simple, very easy, and very delicious oha soup is ready, guys. You have to try this. If you do get your hands on oha soup in New Delhi, India, please try this recipe. You're going to love it. Trust me, you're going to love it. So this is the soup. It is ready, and I'm going to just transfer it to a bowl because it is huge. It's a lot of soup that I have to store it up in the fridge. So now I'm transferring into a bowl so I can let it cool before putting it into my fridge. That's what I'm doing right here. So I got a full bowl and a little bit extra for the daily consumption in a little pot beside it. Yeah, this pot right here is the extra that came out, and I've made my swallow. With this soup, you can eat with any swallow of your choice, but my personal favorite is wheat. You can also call it atta. We call it atta in Delhi. This is atta, and it is wheat. It is very, very nice. I'll be showing a video on how I made this very soon. You can enjoy the soup with any swallow of your choice. Thank you guys. Bye.